And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Welcome to the Dice Tower.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Nein, Schnackelstein. That's probably a bad pronunciation. I'm not even sure what the English translation is. We call it the mole game. In this game, the Baroness has hidden her gems. She dug holes in the garden and buried gems because she thinks that they will grow into gem trees. She's apparently not wise. So she needs to get these gems back because apparently there is a gem competition. No, there's the World Worm Burrowing Competition, and we need to get the gems out. Whatever. You're using moles to get gems. How do you do that? Let's show you. Now the board here is put together, it's actually two boards. You'll see that there's 6 wooden pegs that are to hold these two boards together. And there's going to be these moles, there's these tunnels that are kind of between the boards with different holes. And in these holes you're going to distribute different gems, red, blue, and white. Each player is going to get one of these long things and one of these short tunnel spaces. There's also, if you notice over here, a whole pile of extra tunnel spaces. So on your turn, you have to pick a tunnel space from either one of these two that you have, or from this pile. There's another smaller pile here. You can use one of these too. In fact, your first piece has to show a worm, or it has to show one of these beetles. So let's say on my first turn, I pick this one here. I pick one of the moles. I put it behind the mole, and I push it. Do I see the mole yet? No. Someone else pushes another mole. Someone else then decides to push the same one I did. Then someone else decides to push this mole. And then it's my turn again, so I decide I'm going to use my long one. I can only use this once per turn, but I think this will get the mole to where I want it to be. It does. As you can see, the mole has popped up here. Hey, mole. And that means I get those gems. So I take these 2 red gems and put them in front of me. Now, if you make a mole touch blue gems, so let's say someone puts their long one in that way, and we get another one. You don't really want blue gems, because when the mole gets to the blue gems, there he is, then you give 1 blue gem to each of your opponents. So you don't get any. So that's when you might want to use short ones, because you don't want the blue ones. And then when you get the diamond gems, whenever you get a diamond gem, you can take all the gems of one color off the stump here besides the diamond. The reason that you do that is because if you make it so that there's these different shaped bugs that are going to be showing up here. Let's move these along and make some of them show up. If at the end of your turn you can see a worm through the hole after you just moved, then you get to take another turn. And then if after that turn, you could continue to see those, but if a beetle is ever showing through those, you have to take one of your gems that you've collected and place it on the stump. And remember, when someone gets a diamond, they can take all of one color from the stump. That's it. Once a mole reaches the end, it's shut down. You can't move that mole anymore. And when all the gems are gone, you simply add all the gems together, and whoever has the most gems is the winner. You can also play a very easy variant if you want to, where you ignore the bugs and the worms, and gems are just all gems. There's no difference between the colors. All right, Holly, what do you think about this?
I like it. It's fun. I like that you can go under the board and push the mole. It's fun.
The board is actually pretty good quality. You can see here that even though I picked it up, and when you're done, you can kind of shake out all the pieces, as we are doing by accident. But these pegs kind of pop right out the back here. And once you pop out all the pegs, you have 2 boards, and each of these boards folds up. You can see all the paths on this one, and they fold up and go right into the box. Easy enough. Now, we played this game with Holly and her younger sisters and found that it reminds me of another game that I played a long time ago where you had tongues and you had to make the tongue long enough to kiss the princess. Do you remember that game?
No.
It was before your time. But in this game, you have to know when to use the long one and the short ones. Should you always use a long one?
No.
Why?
Because sometimes you could get the beetle.
Or the blue gems, which you have to give to other players.
Yeah.
But it's often best to use the long ones, and kids will think at first. At first, kids will be moving the long ones, because they want to see the mole come out. And it's fun to have the mole come out and get the gems for you. But at the same time, there is a little bit of strategy in when to use the different sizes, and you have to kind of judge it. And don't be worried. Most little kids will get some gems. They'll be able to push it. Sometimes the next hole is within visible sight of the last one.
Like the blue one, except if they're the ones who are always getting the blue ones.
Who is? The little kids?
Yeah.
Oh. Did you win?
Yes. Well, it was a tie.
Okay. Well, there's that. It's a very big box for a pretty simple game, and the game teaches kids some sort of measurement skills, judging how long something will be. That's not a terrible skill to have. And also teaching them rewards. You want the red ones. Those are good. The blue ones are bad. And the diamond ones are the best because they can give you more gems off the stump. A pretty simple game with a few extra minor things. I haven't even played the simplest version yet because my kids have all understood the more advanced one, but I can see how that one would work also. Anyhow, it's a lot of fun for me. What are your final thoughts?
I liked it.
You did? Same here. I enjoyed it. I could even see playing this one with older kids because of the judging the distances and such. I think it'd be maybe a much more cutthroat game. But that is Nein, Schnackelstein.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Chiudi la porta!